Welcome to another episode of the Polker Table, a podcast where we discuss all things crypto and Web3. I'm Michelle, and I am here with Connor
Hey guys.
and Austin.
Hello.
So, real quick, Hector cannot be with us today just because he has to be really quiet. It's a long, well, I guess it's not a long story. He has to, he cannot access the internet where he is right now. So Hector had originally sent us a link to something regarding how there was a first NFT sale regarding real estate. And he had known about this for a while, but like it officially happened, which I think is really cool. And I don't know how you guys see real estate really like shifting in that sense. Because I have also heard of people just getting loans way easier. Well, I guess that's going into the bank portion, right? But I guess we should start with real life tangible assets then at this point, like real estate.
I mean, the real estate one was really intelligent. Uh, I do
Mm-hmm.
believe that, in the end, I mean, what they've done is they're taking a property, registering a
Mm-hmm.
business. The property is part of the business. The business is then attached to an NFT and sold. Of course, when you the business deals, you have the lack of VAT. Uh, so you don't have the value added tax. You also don't have capital gains on it. So by selling property that way, uh, firstly, I mean, it's a massive loophole. It's not just disrupting industries. It's completely legal tax evasion um, by using blockchain in business. It's bypassing a lot of the systems, and it you could do it completely without cryptos. You can register a property
Yeah.
as a business and sell the business. However, having it attached to the NFT means you could then take
Mm-hmm.
a loan out on that NFT. If your property is worth, or the business is worth 500,000, if you
Mm-hmm.
deposit that NFT on somewhere like Aave, once they start taking real world assets, if they let you borrow 50% of the value in USDT, you got $250,000 in USDT free to spend. And as long as you pay that loan back, you can invest it in other property, you can invest it where you want. And as soon as you pay that loan back, the NFT comes back to you. And it's all in a smart contract. So it's not like you're giving the NFT away. It's not custodial.
Right.
It's not going to Coinbase. So it's an extremely intelligent way of firstly
Mm-hmm.
bypassing a lot of tax that you'd have to pay for selling a property. But then for the owner of the
It's so
property, they have a
interesting
lot
though,
more
because
versatility.
right. And the thing is, like, it's already been done in the past. We're just, putting it on the blockchain, I guess. And I think what's interesting to me is, like, is it really a legal loophole or is this something that is going to get you flagged, right?
I think that, so just to clarify for any people who are listening and might not have access to the show notes, the article goes over the first NFT sale in like real estate that has an actual physical property attached. And it just goes over a bunch of things that NFTs can do in the real space.
Mm-hmm.
We went over lending industry already in real estate as well. So I would like to say overall that the government could easily make laws against this, quite quickly as well. We've seen, Congress push out something that's a direct response to like hate crimes in the U.S. within a week, right? Um, and the
Right.
moment I started trading on Coinbase, they captured me and put me here, so they're very quick moving. So just in
I
general,
think, yeah, I think the whole business sale thing with the VAT, that's gonna be uh that's gonna be shut down in the end
yeah,
because
it's going to be
but
regulated
but
very quickly.
the NFT attached to the property and then using the NFT on lending platforms, I don't think there's anything they can do about that legally. It's your
No, I don't
property,
think
right?
so
Yeah.
either. Yeah,
So the business
I think
sales
But
collateral.
aspect,
remember, like the 1% has already been doing this. So it
Yeah.
will be interesting to see how they're going to try to change this because now it's, I think putting it on the blockchain is making it more accessible for people who wouldn't have known how to do that to begin with. And so it's like giving some accessibility to the people who weren't the one percenters who now know how to do
Yeah,
this.
they're
Right.
going to
So
be
it will be
sat next
interesting
doors
because
to
like
me
the one
eventually.
percenters though control everything to some extent. So like they're not going to want those laws to change. So I don't know.
I mean, I think in general with the one percenters are okay with the laws changing because they have influence over the laws, right? It's
Mm,
not like they aren't putting something in there for them still. Once NFTs are gone for them, they'll find the next big thing or find a way to keep using the NFTs in a smaller capacity. However, I think with the lending in and of itself, that'll make less one percenters and more banks be very wary of like NFT value, and then that would be interesting because a financial organization lobbying for changes in how NFTs are valued is something that I find extremely interesting.
mm,
I mean, it's like right now, like, if you own a property and you want to take a mortgage out on it, you want to remortgage it because you want money to, I don't know, build an expansion or you need money. You're going to have to go to banks. You're going to pay huge interest rates, and it's not going to be fun. And you may get denied. There's no guarantee on it. But in the decentralized way, if it's tied to the NFT, banks have no
mm-hmm,
control. You receive your money. Uh, Interest rates will be determined by the market. As long as you pay it back, you receive everything.
mm-hmm.
But that really removes a lot of power from banks. The mortgage industry was what caused, well, that's what caused the 2008 financial crisis in the end.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
So taking
so
that power away will be interesting.
word of warning: do not take out a mortgage or a second mortgage to dump it all into cryptocurrency. Word of
Yeah.
warning: do not do
Please don't
this.
take out 75% of your house value and dump it into altcoins. Not financial advice, just life advice again.
We on that note itself, because we're talking about it, we actually had an individual in our community say he sold or mortgage or something of the sort his farm or
What?
something and bought only PKR. So we're not telling you to do that, but
What?
there is
I
faith in
think
the system.
my response to that was quite good, I thought.
Yeah, it was
Tell
a
us your
warning.
response.
Not
I really liked it.
I think it was don't do it. Essentially, someone has, but please do not continue this trend. But I completely disagree. Uh, Not financial advice, but keep doing this. It sounds like a really cool and fun idea, specifically with poker, but don't do it for any other coins.
What I said was give a man some PKR and he can feed his family rice for a day. Buy a man a rice field and he can feed his family and sell rice to buy PKR for life.
Very true.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah,
Yeah. I
There we
thought that
go.
was a fantastic saying.
it's poetry.
It will go down in history as
Yeah,
one of the wise words.
all we have to do is turn his farm into an NFT to mortgage it, so we can buy more PKR.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah. So let's figure that out. We'll get in contact with this man and make sure that his dreams come true.
Remember, everyone, we are not offering financial advice whatsoever.
No, not at all. I
All right. Well, we started talking about the real estate and then talking about decentralization in banks. What are some other things that you think about finance and big banks related to how crypto can potentially disrupt?
So
Um,
one of my favorite things is the financial institutions of any country are usually very much so in bed with the government.
mhm,
Sometimes the financial institutions are the government. And crypto in general disrupts that by giving a secondary avenue. It doesn't even have to be as big as the first. It just has to be available for the public, and that allows people to do a bunch of different things. With their money, that might be considered safer even with crypto. One of my favorites is peer-to-peer lending using crypto. Getting not huge loans, but anything up to like $50,000 in loans. Uh, Using a crypto with like certain other cryptos as like collateral, which I think is
mm,
really cool. Um, and there's a bunch of different like KYCs that they use that make it safe, right? And there's a legal recourse for it too. So I think it's very interesting. And the interest rates are way lower, like 2 or 3%, which is super nice.
Hmm.
Or
as
you can
opposed to like
go the fully
7.5%.
decentralized way and go zero KYC.
Would you want to do zero KYC if you're giving someone a $50,000 loan?
Yeah, if I do it through a smart contract,
Oh yeah, that's true. That is true.
like if
Can
I'm
you go
using
into that a bit?
a,
How would the smart contract work? When
Yeah, go into that a little more.
I mean, all of the lending platforms that are completely decentralized with no KYC are all over collateralized. So if I want to take out a $50,000 loan, I'm gonna have to deposit, say, I'd, on Aave, I think, let's say $75,000 of Ethereum first. But then they'll give me 50,000 USDT. My Ethereum are locked up. So as long as you believe that the Ethereum is going to go up in value, you don't want to spend it,
Hmm.
right? So the idea is you keep it. If it goes down in value to the point where it's at the same value as your loan, well, yeah, it's liquidated. You've lost it. But in theory, you've just sold it for the value it was because you've still got the loan.
Hmm.
So you can't
right.
really lose that way.
I mean,
Uh,
that's more of a
and
financial
then,
tool, to be fair.
like, you can kind of, people are cycling it, right? So they put in 20 Ethereum, take out the loan in cash, trade that for Ethereum, deposit, take out a loan in cash, put that into Ethereum, and you can keep cycling it as long as you believe it's going to go up. But you get
Hmm.
liquidated at that point, you lose everything. So there's like minimal risks. Like if you take 20% out, if you deposit 10,000 and you take $2,000 loan, the chance of liquidation, I mean, Ethereum would have to fall sort of, what, probably 80%. I don't know, a bit less,
Hmm.
70%.
That's just
And
gambling
if you
with horse
need that
steps, though.
cash, like, yeah, if you need that cash quickly, you've got it and you don't have to sell your Ethereum, right? And then when you got the cash back, you can put it back in and get it back. Uh, so I think it's great because there's no bank involved, there's no person involved, there's no middleman at all. It's completely
Hmm.
automated, completely safe. Uh, it's just a trustless system. Uh, MakerDAO has been doing it since 2016, and Aave has the biggest market, and they're now doing real world assets as well already. I think they had, I need to check, but I mean, there was over $12 billion locked in their smart
Ooh.
contracts a couple of months ago. They're by far the biggest. And there's not a single person. It's not like there's a company there. There is no one. It's just a bunch of code on the Ethereum blockchain and the Polygon blockchain, just letting people lend and letting people borrow,
Hmm.
Yeah, but I feel
which
like
banks
scenarios
really
which
don't like.
have, yeah, banks really do not like any of that. But
No.
I think the scenario that I would want to see come into reality is someone who like legitimately wants a loan to pay back and not something to just increase value. Like if I
Hmm.
want to, Michelle said earlier, I think it was on podcast. If you want to put like a renovation on your house with a loan, right?
Hmm.
That's something that could raise value of your property, right? But that's going to be like a long term thing that you're going to pay off the loan for over the course of time. If I'm taking a loan to put a renovation on my house, I'm not doing it because I have 75,000 of Ethereum ready to go, right?
Hmm.
So, what I want in the future
Yeah,
is like a
but
small loan industry that's not like a cash shark. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like
so like
I don't want to be a loan
under-collateralized
shark.
loans.
Yeah, or at least less collateral. Like put your car up, make your car an NFT and put it up, and then the NFT gives rights to that specific car. You can put that in the deed.
Yeah, I think
I
it's
will
all
say
coming.
for oh, go on.
No, no.
Oh, so for me, I'm more of, so you both are kind of like deep in it, right? I'm more of the like conventional crypto person, if you will. Like if there was a name for that. So it's like I'm the conventional consumer of like crypto,
Mhm.
right? So I don't do a lot of like, I don't know enough, so I'm not comfortable enough doing like other things, but I have started using like crypto to basically make more money in a sense. So like for example, I used to have a savings account, right, in a regular bank. And even though it's like a high yield, it's literally nothing. Like my money's just sitting there. And so I moved it to like one of my hot wallets that is offering, I mean, they don't call it staking, but it's essentially that, right? You're purchasing their coin and then you're keeping it there. It's liquidable at any time. I can take it out at any time, but the percentage is like 8.05%,
Is
like
it
astronomical.
is it Crow?
No,
Okay.
I don't want to say it because if they're gonna, I want them to sponsor us then.
Mm,
But
okay.
anyways,
So
like eight point
I'm
oh
just,
five percent.
so that sounds really good, right? Uh,
Yeah.
I also like, let's have a look. 8.5% is good. CPI was 7.8, so you're just below, just above inflation with that. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
I also, I don't trust the crypto market right now, so I'm keeping also most of mine in stable coins. But there are
Yeah.
places where you can stake it completely securely for 19.5%.
I know.
And that's not
Isn't
on
that what
centralized
BKR is at right
exchanges.
now?
It's full. No, no. So I'm staking dollars, right? This is
Mm-hmm.
not a volatile token. It's a complete
Okay.
stable coin, uh, but it's not using a centralized exchange. It's not tied to my passport. It's not tied to any KYC to me. It's fully
Mm-hmm.
in a smart contract on the Terra network, but you know my bank is never going to give me 20% APY.
Right.
Um,
I need to
so you
talk to
have the
you about the
choice.
one you're doing for 20. I was thinking about
Your
staking
yours is
PKR,
on
but
a whichever one yours is on is going to be centralized. So you've got the security of the
it
fact that
is.
if there is a hack or
Yeah,
something,
it is
you're
centralized.
probably
Yes.
you're probably going to receive some kind of you know they'll probably do something to make up for it. Mine's fully in a smart
Yeah.
contract. There's no people. It's no one else running it. So there's
Mm.
I take that system because that's my belief in crypto. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
but I also understand the security and also the ease of using the the like places like crypto.com and all of these other ones, Nexo, Compound,
Mhm.
just because they're
Right.
offering great interest rates and
Yeah.
they're offering you security and they're very simple to use as well.
Yeah. And
So
for
I
me,
think
it's
there's like
always about
pros and
diversifying,
cons.
though, right? Yeah. So, like, for me, I always like to have some portion of it in a centralized, wallet, knowing that it is safe, right? And then I will put another different portion into something that is more decentralized so that I'm getting the benefits of like the 19%. But, it's all about diversification for me, just because,
Yeah.
I'm at that age where I have to constantly think ahead relating to my
Hmm.
children and to my family and all that. And so, yeah, I think we get way better options when it comes to crypto nowadays. I think it's a joke, even CDs, right? People used to talk about how CDs were like amazing and all this, and it's nothing, like absolutely nothing now. And I would be really curious as to who would put like vast amounts of money in CDs. I guess like if you're a millionaire, it won't matter. But if you are a millionaire, you would be potentially smarter with your money. Like you would actually want your money to work for you, not just sit there making 0.001% or 0.01. It's just, yeah, I
I
think the
mean,
highest one's like
in the
1%.
Netherlands, where I was, if you had anything over 100,000 euros in your bank account, your interest rates were
Hmm.
negative. So you were actually earning negative 0.5%.
Wow.
Germany's also got it. The Netherlands, possibly a few other European countries. Uh, yeah, they really don't want you with large amounts saving.
Huh.
Yeah, in the U.S., my bank account is just like 0.025, like a
I
Yeah.
quarter
think
of
my
a
UK
percent.
one
It's
is around
it's
the same.
it's not great. You can get a high yield, which is 2 whole percents, and like maybe you're getting a CD at 4%. But yeah, crypto right now, if you can stake a stable coin, it's like the best way to go.
Yeah.
But you were talking about how all of the money that you have laid up, Connor, is in smart contracts, and it's completely decentralized. Um, I actually have taken a different step with an investment I made. So I'm actually going to be essentially an executive producer of like an anime dub, and we're doing the investment through a smart
Fancy.
contract. Yeah. So
That's pretty smart.
yeah, and it's essentially I just took out some of my crypto, and every time they need something, they can. I essentially it's like a GitHub pull request from like an application that one of his tech guys made,
Mm.
and it just money can go out. I have to approve it, and then you have to put a reason of like what it's for, and then like the smart contract
So it's
moves,
kind of
right?
like a multi-signature contract.
Yeah, everyone has
Yeah,
to agree on it, like with that phone
yeah,
press or like
yeah.
a push notification. It took them maybe like an hour to make, which was awesome.
What?
So
That's
yeah,
so
Yeah,
it,
like Bitcoin
fancy.
had that option for years, but no one really used it. But yeah, I think now
really,
that's on a few other blockchains. Yeah, they had a multi-signature for a long time, but no one really understood it because there was no application. You had to literally use
right?
Bitcoin Core and type it all in command prompt.
That's kind of
And
cool.
now you can just press things on a phone, be like, yeah, approve, approve, approve,
Yep.
and transaction submitted.
I feel like you can feel like a hacker though when you're like typing on the command prompt. You know what I mean? Like
I used to
hearing that
love it,
stuff.
Yep.
I feel so
except I
smart.
You
always
do
got
feel a bit badass, right?
Right. And then the fun part is that if it works, the command you put in works.
Oh,
That's
I
when
love
you
it.
start like, yeah. Um,
Awesome.
but
So
yeah,
now why don't
okay.
we talk about like decentralization and tech monopolies, right? Like I know that when the metaverse, I mean, I feel like it's died down a little bit, but I may be wrong, but I remember just even several like months ago, it was everything about the metaverse, right? And then like Facebook comes out with Meta and then people were flipping out, right? So,
Well, with that, it was all about the metaverse in our space, right? The general
mhm.
population like didn't even like flinch. Zuckerberg gets a whiff of the metaverse, goes, "Yep, that's us now. We're taking that." Um, and when he
Kind
releases
of
the
messed
general
up for
pub,
us.
yeah, the general public was like, "Oh no, this is a mass adoption of something we didn't even know about." Right? Zuckerberg probably should have waited. I think Meta would have been cool in 5 years,
Yeah.
but now was
That
just
makes sense,
not the
yeah.
right time. He's trying to be an innovator way too early.
Mhm.
He should have like jumped on the bandwagon when it was way more. I'd want to say popularized. Maybe don't change
Or
it to
flushed
Meta.
out.
Yeah, Facebook colon Meta.
Hmm.
Like, don't change the name of Facebook, or maybe make a subsidiary company, right? But
Hmm.
this whole thing, what he lost 40 billion or something.
Yep.
Yeah,
Biggest loss in 24 hours anyone's ever made.
I don't. He gets posted on Wall Street Bets every like couple days
Yeah.
because like they think they're his hero now, or he's their hero now. Excuse me. So I don't know, man. He's too early on that. So in
Yeah,
general,
but
when
at the
it
same
go ahead.
time, I think he's the type of person who will be able to, not that I, like him or anything, but like he's the type who can like win out at the end, like he'll
Mhm.
fix it. Um, so,
But the problem was, right, the whole idea of the metaverse in our space was that people had control. You connect your wallet, it's decentralized in the fact that everything you're doing, you're in control of.
mhm,
There's,
Right.
you're in like with Facebook, we're the product, right? They make money from us being there. The
Right.
whole idea
mhm,
of the metaverse within crypto was in the product is whatever we want to be the product, but we're definitely not the product. We're there to be there.
Mhm.
If people want to advertise in that space, we choose to be there or not. We can leave the place if they're advertising in
mhm,
it. We have complete control of the finances. It's not going to be Facebook's failed Libra or some kind of massive corporation controlled currency. It's going to be whatever coin you want to connect your wallet and spend. Uh, so I think Facebook entering that space, I think it damaged the whole metaverse image because now the whole world is aware of metaverse, and it's the same idea in how it's going to look visually, but how it works the functionalities of it is complete opposite. One's a corporately controlled robot where you are the
mhm,
product, and the decentralized metaverse was going to be the total opposite. It was going to be absolutely no control by any single entity, controlled by you, and the product was whatever you wanted to find inside it. So I'd say
mhm,
Right.
Facebook changing to Meta, and I don't think it went down well with people, has kind of damaged the whole metaverse image. It made a massive hype at the
mhm,
time
Right.
because obviously a huge company changing name while the crypto market was rallying up is going to do that. But
Mhm.
overall, I don't think it's you know, I really don't want a corporation controlling the metaverse. Um, for me,
And
that's exactly what we didn't want.
it's not going to at this point. it changed. It didn't go up at all. It went
No,
very far
it
down.
failed. Yeah.
And they're not going to have complete control because there's so many projects out there, right?
Mhm.
Going on the tech monopoly thing. There is a tech. I think the proper term is tech oligarchy right now. We have
Fair.
some of the biggest players in tech. Apple, Microsoft, Facebook as a social media tech. Um, Followed by that, can you guys hear the police sirens? Sorry
Yeah.
about that. Um,
Yeah.
Poor Joseph. um, but I guess you have to mention Tesla, right? Because they're the biggest EV manufacturer in the
Right.
U.S. and they're very popular. But just in general, these guys are all competing with each other, and I think that competition is there, but it's not as strong as we can make it because they can play into this oligarchy scenario and help each other while still
Mhm.
competing for certain things and staying in their market. Um, Facebook jumping out of their market and trying to push to something greater is definitely, I would say, uh, I would say suicide in the point that now all the other tech companies are looking at Facebook like you, you're like an enemy now, right? They
Yeah.
generally stepped out of their zone, and now they're not
It's
going to be
like
friendly
they
anymore,
had their thing. Why
right?
take someone else's? They had
Mhm.
enough.
So when it comes to tech monopoly or tech oligarchy, as I'm calling it, um, my big my big takeaway is that it's never going to go away. However, leading back to disruption, these small companies that are in the metaverse space and that now the Facebook change, Facebook can kind of be ripped apart now. So the moment that these tech monopolies get too ahead of themselves, or the tech companies get too ahead of themselves, that is the time when they can be starting to pull apart.
Mm.
So I honestly see the next 2 or 3 years, probably Snapchat is what I like to think, taking a good stab at Facebook and doing some sort of metaverse AR thing, using their Snap Map feature. Right? You've already seen do you guys know Coin, the driving app, where you drive around and it auto mines as you're driving. You can take their
Oh,
coin,
I
get
have heard of
rewards.
it. Yeah.
I can see Snapchat acquiring that company or doing it themselves. It's just a very small, neat idea that is technically a metaverse if you're using augmented reality. So
Mm.
that's my 2 cents.
Okay. Interesting. What about you, Connor? Did you have any last words before we end our episode today?
Russia.
Jesus, all right.
Putin, sorry, Russians, I love you, most of you.
I think we just keep that in. I think
I
that's a
can
very
I
tell
do have to
appropriate.
Joseph to just
apologize.
bleep
Most
it.
Russians, you're really lovely people.
Yes.
Ukraine, I'm praying for you. I'm not even religious. Putin, go for yourself. And I'm out.
You heard it first.
Possibly fired as well.
Uh,
Well,
Definitely HR is thinking about talking to you after that one.
Shit. You can't really talk to me if you're in prison, mate.
It's
oh my
crazy.
god.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna end the episode here. Thank you all so much for listening. Please make sure to like and subscribe so that you can get another crazy and interesting episode next week.